thank you for watching my channel today. My name is Sarah and my channel is called Your True Shelf. Today I am doing a TBR for a readathon which I am excited to participate in, and that is the summer school readathon, which was created by Doris from All D Books. And this is a readathon with 5 main prompts and 2 extra prompts if you want to do them, which obviously I always go for that kind of thing, so I'll try and do the extras as well. They're really kind of broad prompts, so there's a lot of scope to sort of shape it into the kind of readathon that you want. And they're based around school subjects. So the first one I had to actually look up what it was because Doris is from the States, and they call some of the subjects different to what we call it in the UK. So the first one is language arts, which when I looked that up, it's basically what in the UK we call it English literature or language. So what I thought was, if I was going for literature, I need to choose a classic. I didn't really want to read an adult classic. I wasn't really in the mood, so I thought I'd pick a children's classic. So for readathons, my daughter always picks my TBR, so I get out all my children's classics and then she chooses one. The one that she chose is this one, which is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So this is one that I read definitely once, if not a few times when I was a kid. I was really excited to see the film of it, which is coming out. It was supposed to come out while lockdown was on, so I don't know what they're going to do with it now. But it's basically about Mary Lennox, who was born in India, in colonial India. She comes back to England. She's quite like sickly, as they call it in those days, and she basically stays, I think, with her uncle and in this big house, in Yorkshire. And then she meets an invalid cousin and a little boy who seems to have a way with animals and the plants and stuff, and discovers a secret garden and sort of flourishes with that. So that's that one. I'm really excited to read it again because it's been such a long time. The second prompt, is maths. So for maths, I just decided I'd go for a book with a number on the cover. So of all the books I had with numbers on the covers, Faye chose this one for me. So this is 100 Acts of Minor Dissent by Mark Thomas. So I've mentioned Mark Thomas a lot of times on my channel recently, but he's a political stand-up comedian and journalist and activist. And this book accompanied a live show that I went to see a few years ago. And he basically carries out sort of minor acts of dissent, as it says. So small acts, political statements which were amusing but still had a purpose. So there's lots of photos, lots of big colourful text, and there's sort of photos of each of the acts of dissent that he committed. And yeah, I think it'll be really funny, and also, but there's always a political message behind what he's doing. So sort of a left-wing political message. So that is the one for maths. Prompt number 3 is social studies. So again, I looked up what that encompasses, and it's basically what we'd call humanities. So it's social science, history, geography, and politics. So for this one, I chose books which were set in another country for sort of the geography element. And the one that we chose is Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda and Ngozi Adichie. So I've read Americana by her and I really loved it. And I've had this for a while. And I'm really excited to get to it. I absolutely love the cover. It's so beautiful. This is set in Nigeria in the 1960s. It follows a boy, Ugwu, a young woman, Alana, and who is living with her lover, and Richard, a shy Englishman in thrall of Alana's twin sister. So, and then it says that war engulfs them, and obviously their stories must all be interlinked. So I've only heard like amazing things about this book, so I'm really excited to read it, and it won the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2007. So prompt number 4 is science. So for this I got all of my medical non-fiction, so not textbooks obviously, but like medical memoirs and stuff like that. And Faye chose one that I've been wanting to read for ages, which is good, which is Breaking and Mending by Joanna. So she was a junior doctor in psychiatry when I think she had burnout or a breakdown herself, and ended up leaving the profession and is now a writer. And I have had, I'm sure everyone's heard me mention, over my 18 years of being in medicine, I have had a lot of difficulties, fallouts, burnouts, stresses, struggles and stuff like that, and I've always been toying with the idea of leaving medicine, and so I'm really interested to hear stories of people who've actually done it and left. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading Joanna Cannon's memoir. So the fifth one is called Exploratories, and it's basically a subject that you enjoyed or were interested in at school that isn't already included on the list. So I chose art because I really loved art at school, and so this is a book that I've had for ages. It's a signed edition. I think I pre-ordered it, so I'm so excited. So it's out I've had it for 3 years by a woman who I really love, and it's got loads of artwork in it, and it's all about self-care, and it is Happy by Fearne Cotton. So I really love Fearne Cotton. If you don't know who she is because you're not in the UK, she's basically a radio DJ and presenter and artist and fashion designer and lots of things in the UK. She's got a really positive focus. She has a podcast called Happy Place, which is amazing, and it focuses on mental health and mental well-being. And she's definitely got another book out called Calm, I believe. So this is I think this is her first book, and the subtitle is Finding Joy in Every Day and Letting Go of Perfect. But she's drawn a lot of artwork in here, so I can find some. And it's all about sort of creativity and things, so that's why I've chosen this one for art, and I'm really, really pleased to be getting to this one at last. And right, the last two bonus prompts. So one of them was to pair a fiction book and a non-fiction book. So with, like, for instance, similarities in the title or the theme or the front cover or that kind of thing. And so Faye picked a non-fiction book for me, and she picked I Am by Maggie O'Farrell. So this is Maggie O'Farrell's memoir with 17 Brushes with Death, and again, I've heard really good things on BookTube. I think this is my first Maggie O'Farrell. I know it's been on my goals for each year to read something by her, because I have 3 of her books, and I'm pretty sure I haven't read anything by her yet. So this one looks cool. Now this one has a heart on the cover, so Faye wanted to pick another book with a heart on the cover, and she chose What Alice Forgot by Lianne Moriarty. So Lianne Moriarty, I've read 3 of her books before. She's an Australian writer, and she wrote Big Little Lies, which obviously done really well on Netflix or Amazon. I think, I'm not sure now. So basically, Alice wakes up on the floor of the gym with a nasty bump to her head, thinking she's still 29 years old and pregnant with her first baby. To her disbelief, it soon transpires the fall has knocked 10 years from her memory, and she's an uptight 39-year-old whose idea of a good time is a 3-hour workout followed by committee meetings with the kind of women she used to despise. How on earth did her life come to this, and how can she not remember giving birth to 3 children? Why does her husband suddenly hate her, and what can she possibly have done that means her beloved sister will barely speak to her? Ooh, that sounds really good. I like it. So it looks quite easy to read. So it's quite big, but the writing's quite big, so I don't think it will take that long to read. So that's good. And then the final prompt was research. So a book which is a new subject or which challenges your thinking. So for earlier this month, I bought a lot of non-fiction books about race, because obviously we're all trying to do a lot better in our knowledge of race and educating ourselves so that we're aware of, like, our privilege and all of that sort of thing. And so I bought several books, and I wanted to choose one of those for this prompt. And the one that Faye chose was Natives by Akala, Race and Class in the Ruins of Empire. So I've already had this on my wish list for several months because I heard a couple of people say about it on BookTube and I saved it to my wish list. So this one says, so from the first time he was stopped and searched as a child to the day he realised his mum was white, to his first encounters with racist teachers, race and class have shaped Akala's life and outlook. In Natives, he takes his own experiences with education, the police, identity and everything in between, and uses them to look at the social, historical and political factors that have left us where we are today. So, sounds fantastic. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be reading for research. I'm also, every video, I'm going to leave all of the links to pages and charities you can donate to and petitions you can sign for Black Lives Matter and for several individuals who petitions are being signed for. I'm going to leave that as a regular thing in my description box. I'm also going to talk each month, I keep meaning to say this at the beginning of the video, I'm going to talk about charities that I'm giving money to that month, because I wanted to make sure that I don't donate as a one-off and then forget about donating money to charities for people of colour. I just want to talk about the charities that I have donated money to this month, and then next month I will talk about the charities again that I've chosen to donate money to, just to promote their existence and so that people are aware of them. So the three charities that I donated money to, no, four charities that I donated money to this month. So the first one was called Show Racism the Red Card, which is a UK charity, which it says it's the leading charity to go into educational institutions and promote anti-racism and educate about racism. The second one that I chose was called the Forefront Project. Forefront Project is to help young Black and people of colour who have been involved in the criminal justice system to try and help have positive change in their lives. And then the third one I donated to was called the Loveland Foundation. I think I'll link it below. But it's an American charity which is for women and girls who are either Black or of colour, and it helps with their psychological well-being, so provides therapy and things like that to try and help them. And then I've also donated to money to promote their campaigns on change.org to try and help them boost the advertising for the campaigns that they are promoting currently. So they're the donations I've done at the moment, and I will talk next month about other charities that I've found so that I can help raise awareness of the charities. So that is my summer readathon TBR. I'll probably vlog during the readathon, so normally vlog readathons. But yeah, so I will link Doris's video about the readathon and her TBR in the notes below. And yeah, if you're going to take part and you do a TBR video, then let me know so I can watch it, which would be cool. Yeah, let me know what your plans are if you're taking part, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.